Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I am Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top lines. Nation waits eagerly for the return of Wing Commander Abhinandan to India from Wagah-Attari border. Celebrations at various places in the country. India proud of Abhinandan, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at a public rally in Kanyakumari. Asserts world has had a taste of India's might in the wake of the terrorist attacks at Uri and Pulwama. Many road and rail projects inaugurated in the state. Two terrorists killed, 5 Jawans martyred in encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Handwara in North Kashmir's Kupwara district. Pakistan violates ceasefire at Mendar and Krishna Ghati Valley. Fight against terror is not against any community or religion, asserts Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj at OIC summit. Underscores the need to impose checks on global sponsors of terrorism. And general elections will be held on time, says Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora. Informs that VVPATs to be used in all the 1,63,331 polling booths for the first time. For the first time, elections to see the use of C-Vigil mobile app. India continues to wait for the return of its pilot wing commander Abhinandan Varthaman, who was in Pakistan's custody since Wednesday. The wing commander will be handed over to India at the Attari-Wagah border. Thousands of people and hundreds of media personnel have been waiting at the border. Excited citizens carrying tricolour, raising patriotic slogans and dancing to dhol beats waited with breath to catch a glimpse of the IAF pilot. The daily retreat ceremony at the border front was cancelled for the day by Indian authorities due to large gathering at the spot. Wing Commander Abhinandan was captured by Pakistan after his jet went down following a strike by an enemy missile. The MiG-21 Bison that he was flying was shot and he bailed out after bringing down one Pakistani F-16 fighter during a dogfight to repel a Pakistani attack on Wednesday morning. On Thursday, Pakistani Prime Minister announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan in what is being seen as a major diplomatic win for India. India had sought immediate return of its pilot in line with the Geneva Conventions. It had also strongly objected to what it called the vulgar display of captured personnel. And for the latest updates on this development, we have with us our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us from the newsroom, and Neeraj Srivastava, former ambassador. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us for this very important development of the day. Akhilesh, first coming to you, how important and big diplomatic victory is it for India?
Smriti, first I am going to tell you that Wing Commander Abhinandan has reached Wagah from Lahore now. And I have got from official sources that he is going to come inside India soon. So, that we have to wait for some more time for him to come inside India. But from Lahore, he has reached Wagah border. And before being handed over to Indian officials, a video is being released in Pakistan about Wing Commander Abhinandan. So let's see that what that video is. But what I have got from my sources that he is going to be handed over soon to our Indian officials, and after that he will come inside India. But given the fact that the type of whole diplomatic pressure Pakistan was in before this whole exercise, it was tremendous, and India had played very hard ball to take Pakistan into pressure on this issue. United Nations Security Council permanent members, ambassadors were briefed twice, and not only in Delhi, but also our embassies were in contact with the respective foreign ministries. Other than that, every country, either small or big, every country was briefed about this incident in Pulwama, and after that, how India destroyed the terrorist camp in Balakot, and also about how Pakistan tried to attack on Indian army establishment. Everything is above and board, and India had kept every country in loop on this issue. And the way India contacted the OIC members, the pressure came from OIC countries also on Pakistan. And this was the result why Prime Minister Imran Khan had to announce yesterday in his National Assembly that Wing Commander Abhinandan will be released tomorrow, that means today. And we are waiting that it is matter of, I think, a few minutes that he will come inside India now. So it was tremendous diplomatic exercise by India, utilizing all sources all across the world. And I think the result is coming now that Captain Wing Commander Abhinandan will be coming to India within 3 days after he was arrested inside Pakistani territory.
Right, Akhilesh. Coming to you, Mr. Srivastav, how do we see things shaping up between India and Pakistan after the return of Wing Commander Abhinandan to India?
Well, Pakistan is obviously very unhappy that it has been forced to hand over Wing Commander Abhinandan to India within almost 24 hours of his capture. Normally, Pakistan does not do such things. So we can expect, more Pakistani shelling at the line of control. We can expect more attacks against Indian police personnel and military personnel.
Mr. Srivastav, we will be coming back to you for more inputs on this, but right now our correspondent Akhilesh Suman has some breaking news for us. Yes, Akhilesh.
Yeah, Smriti, the breaking news is that Wing Commander Abhinandan has reached Wagah border, and he is being handed over to Indian officials, and Indian officials include the High Commissioner officials and also Air Force attache. So the process is almost complete. So it is now a few minutes when he will be crossing the border. That's the breaking news.
And what will be the road ahead from here for Abhinandan after his coming back to India?
We are expecting some briefing by the Air Force. After he enters India, he will be taken to Amritsar. And from Amritsar, he might be taken to, Delhi, because Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is also keen to meet him, greet him about his valor and his bravery. So I think this is the road ahead till now. And naturally, after he comes to Delhi, there will be some, conversation with Defense Ministry officials and Foreign Ministry officials. His health checkup will be done. And he will also share his experiences inside Pakistan, that how he was treated there, what was the conversation there. So all these things are very formal, and after that he will go his home in Tamil Nadu.
Right, Akhilesh. Coming back to you, Mr. Srivastav, after Pulwama attack, how successful has India been in bringing up this issue on a global platform and getting the support of the world community?
Well, I think India has been quite successful in doing so. you remember that a few days ago, the UN Security Council issued a press statement which condemned the Pulwama attack and which named Jaish-e-Mohammed as a terror outfit. And this was a unanimous statement. So this is almost unprecedented. Then in the Islamic world also, Pakistan tried to blackmail the OIC by telling them that if the Indian foreign minister attends the conference in Abu Dhabi, then Pakistan will boycott it. Pakistan failed to blackmail the OIC, and the Indian foreign minister was invited to speak as a guest of honor. So in all senses, I think military, diplomatic, political senses, I think this has been a successful operation for India.
And what will be the road ahead from here? As far as the diplomatic relations with Pakistan is concerned?
Well, the road, yes. The road ahead from here is that India has made it clear in the past that we cannot talk to Pakistan as long as it continues to commit acts of terrorism in India. In brief, terrorism and talks cannot be held at the same time.
Right, Mr. Neeraj Srivastava. There we are playing you the live pictures from Wagah-Attari border, where Wing Commander Abhinandan has arrived. We are playing you the live visuals from the Wagah-Attari border. IAF Braveheart has returned back to India. Rajya Sabha television is getting you all the ground report and details, discussion on that very latest development. Wing Commander Abhinandan has been handed over to India at the Wagah-Attari border. There, thousands of people and hundreds of media personnel have been waiting through the day for his arrival back to the country. Wing Commander Abhinandan was captured by the Pakistan after his jet went down following a strike by an enemy missile. The MiG-21 Bison that he was flying was shot, and he bailed out after bringing down one Pakistani F-16 fighter jet during a dogfight with Pakistan on Wednesday morning. There, the live visuals from Wagah-Attari border. On Thursday, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan had announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan in what is being seen as a major diplomatic win for India. India had sought immediate return of its pilot in line with the Geneva Conventions. And India had also strongly objected to what it called the vulgar display of the captured personnel. There, Abhinandan back to the country. We are playing you these live visuals. All through the day, we have been waiting for this moment, for the arrival of IAF Wing Commander Abhinandan Vardhaman. All through the day, excited citizens carrying tricolour and raising patriotic slogans and dancing to the dhol beats was seen there at the border to catch the glimpse of the IAF pilot. Also, the daily retreat ceremony at the border front was cancelled for the day by the Indian authorities due to the large gathering at the spot. There, a moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win for India, with the arrival of IAF pilot Abhinandan back to the country. A series of attacks, and there the gates are opening for IAF pilot wing commander Abhinandan. Remember what we have been told by our correspondent. Akhilesh was telling us that after he comes back to India, there will be a series of process which will be followed, his medical checkup. A moment of pride for India there. Their wing commander Abhinandan coming back home. A major diplomatic win for India. Remember, India has been bringing up the problem, the menace of terrorism on international platform, on global arena. Various efforts to isolate Pakistan on this issue. Today, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj was attended OIC summit, where she underscored the need to impose checks on global sponsors of terrorism. She also underlined that fight against terror is not against any community or religion. There, Wing Commander Abhinandan, we are playing you the live visuals from Wagha-Attari border. There, the gates are opening. And the official protocol is also being undertaken. There, Wing Commander Abhinandan enters into the Indian side. A moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win for the nation. Rajya Sabha television has been getting you a continuous coverage of all the details on that development. And going back to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, a moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win which we have been talking about.
Really, it is a major achievement at this point of time, Smriti, that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory now. Now Abhinandan is a free man and he is an official of India. He is back in India. You know that you have seen that in Pakistan, he was for last 3 days, and for last 3 days he was, it was pressure on Pakistan that Prime Minister Imran Khan had to announce his release, and now he is inside our country. You have seen the footage. You see that there was a lady who is Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials, and the person who was also there, he was also from the Pakistani Air Force. So he was given the protocol that requires to release wing commander. So in a way that you can think that yes, he was given the honor, that he was released with full honor in this point of time. And as wing commander is inside India territory, it's a great relief, and it's also a great moment of happiness for all of us, for all the countrymen, for Indian officials, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry officials, and also Defense, Air Force. Everyone is happy in this point of time that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory now. Wing Commander Abhinandan, we were waiting for you for a long time, for the whole day. Since morning, everyone in India was waiting for you, and now you are inside. Welcome, Wing Commander Abhinandan in India. Smriti.
And now, since we are seeing the visuals live from Wagah-Attari border, now what will be the process further?
You know, now the first process is that he may go through the health checkup inside India, and after he is found fit, he will also be having conversation with officials of Ministry of External Affairs, his own, department, Air Force, and also, some intelligence officials also will talk to him. He will give the whole brief that what happened with him, in what circumstances, and what was the conversation inside Pakistan. So, the whole account of how he spent his time inside Pakistani territory for last 3 days and nights. I know that it's a whole saga that how he spent inside the territory that is considered to be enemy territory. And after that, he will be taken to Amritsar, and from there he will be taken to Delhi. And in Delhi also, he may get a chance to meet Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. And indeed, after that, he will be taken in his Tamil Nadu home. So it's a time of victory for all Indians, for all Indian diplomats, for Indian embassies all over the world who had worked overnight to pressurize Pakistan to release Wing Commander Abhinandan. And at this point of time, there is a moment of happiness all over the Indian officialdom, all over the Indian political class, across party lines, that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory. Smriti.
Absolutely, Akhilesh. India has been working day in and day out to ensure the safe return of Wing Commander Abhinandan back to the country. Akhilesh, for the better understanding of our viewers, can you guide us in understanding the relevance of the health checkup of Abhinandan at this point of time?
Because he ejected himself from the flight, and when he ejected, he dropped down inside the Pakistani territory. And when he was in Pakistani territory, he was confronted with a local mob, and some stones were also thrown on him. Then he had to jump in a pond. And after he came out of the pond, these local people also, tried to misbehave with him. But in that moment, army officials came and he was taken into custody of army officials. After that, he was taken to Rawalpindi, headquarters of Pakistani army, where, he must have gone through conversation, dialogue with the officials of Pakistani army, Pakistani intelligence officials. And the whole point in this was that whether he is being treated well, whether he was not harassed, he was not tortured, he was not physically harmed, he was not mentally harassed. All these things include, and once he is inside Indian territory, there will be a session of counseling also. The traumatic moment he has gone inside an enemy territory with all his documents, with his he was also armed with his pistol. So everything was there with him. So how he felt there, and you know, this is the process that is called debriefing, that
Right.
to take this person in a normal condition, that yes, you had undergone certain situation, now you are in normal situation, so now you are a normal wing commander of India, you have done bravery, so he has to be counseled. And in that, the whole health certification is also required, that he is fit and fine to join his job also. So this is the normal process that every soldier who goes inside enemy territory, and when he comes inside Indian territory, he has to be certified that he is normal now. So that is the process, you know, Smriti.
Akhilesh, you stay on with us. We'll come back to you for more inputs on this. Coming back to Mr. Neeraj Srivastava. Sir, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan had announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan as a peace gesture, as a goodwill gesture. How big was the diplomatic pressure on Pakistan to take this step?
You know, Mr. Imran Khan was merely trying to appear to the international community as a statesman and as a peace-loving leader when he announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan as a goodwill gesture. The fact is that he had to do so under pressure, because if you recall, a day before that, immediately after the capture of Wing Commander Abhinandan, he had stated that India can now begin talks with us to discuss the future course of action regarding Wing Commander Abhinandan. So obviously what happened? Suddenly that he had to change his plans. Well, what happened was that I think certain countries which are very important for Pakistan put pressure on Pakistan and told Pakistan that he should be released without any further delay, because otherwise Pakistan would never have released Wing Commander Abhinandan in such a short time. And amongst these countries, I would like to particularly name Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and the United States. There may have been other countries also, but I think these three countries, they played an important role. And as we all know that the economic condition of Pakistan is very poor at the moment, and it is basically surviving on handouts from countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. So it became impossible for Imran Khan to say no to these countries, and also because our foreign minister was going to address the
Sir, we will come back to you. Right, Mr. Neeraj Srivastava, we will come back to you. There, a press conference being addressed by IAF official. Let's listen in.
Sudhir.
Now be taken for a detailed medical checkup. This checkup is mandated particularly because the officer has had to eject from an aeroplane which would have put his entire body under great stress. IF is happy to have Abhinandan back. Thank you.
What was the delay about? What was the delay about?
There, the press conference being addressed by the Indian Air Force officials, telling about the homecoming of brave IAF pilot Abhinandan to India.
Just now that he has crossed over the zero line.
So he was here when? At the checkpost in Atari?
No, not very long time. He reached this place not very long back, and he was here for about half an hour.
Thereafter, he was handed over to the BSF authorities and the Air Force authorities have taken him.
ढिल्लों साहब उन्होंने पेरेंट्स से थे
नहीं जी
सर मेडिकल क्या होएगा
मेडिकल जी एयर फोर्स अथॉरिटीज खुद अपना इंटरनल है जी उधर कराओ
Why was there a press conference scheduled at 5:30 if he wasn't here?
क्योंकि जी उम्मीद सीगी कि उस टाइम तक आ जाएंगे बट somehow he got delayed on the way. We have not asked the Pakistan authorities as to why, what was the delay. We are happy to have him back and the Air Force authorities have now taken him with him. The Air Vice Marshal has accompanying him. He's come all the way from the air headquarters.
Did he say anything when he arrived?
No, he was happy to be back.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything, he was smiling and he says it's back to be good to my country.
Sir,
पंजाबी जिस तरह जी विंग कमांडर अभिनंदन जी हुणे पाकिस्तान अथॉरिटीज ने इंडियन अथॉरिटीज ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁਣੇ 에ਅਰ ਫੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਬੜੀ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਤੋਂ 에ਅਰ ਵਾਈਸ ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਖੁਦ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ 에ਅਰ ਵਾਈਸ ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹੁਣੇ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ चेकअप हैगा प्रोसीजर के मुताबिक वो होके ते उन्होंने एयर हेडक्वार्टर जाए।
सर अभी तक कहाँ पर थे? कहाँ पर वो थे?
पाकिस्तान में थे जी।
पाकिस्तान में रवाना हो चुके थे तो यहाँ आने में
इस्लामाबाद और इस जगह का डिस्ट्रिक्ट बेसिकली हमारा उनसे ये था कि वो आ जाएं। नॉर्मली जो ये बॉर्डर है तो स्पेशली खोल के शाम को लेट बिकॉज वापस लिया
गया। What was the communication from Pakistan side that made you believe that he'd be here by 6 o'clock?
Look, the thing is there's no written communications in these matters, but we were given to understand that he will be there. So the expectation was that he might be there by that time, but somehow it got delayed. And as a special case, the border was opened and he is being taken.
Thank you so much.
क्या मीडिया के सामने भी एक बार आ सकते हैं?
अभी नहीं जी, जब तक वो एयरफोर्स अभी उनको लेके जाएगी वो उधर से हवाई जहाज से पैराड्रॉप हुए हैं तो उसमें स्ट्रेस टू द बॉडी भी होता है तो उनको चेकअप करके उनकी मेडिकल कंडीशन ठीक करके अबाउट जस्ट 10 minutes back.
Thank you sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we'll go back to Mr. Neeraj Srivastav. Sir, 3 days it took for Pakistan to return Abhinandan to India. What were the reasons, are we given to understand, behind this delay?
Behind the delay, well, as I said earlier that Pakistan was initially reluctant to release Wing Commander Abhinandan. And if there was no pressure from certain countries on Pakistan, I think he would still be in Pakistani custody and Pakistan would have tried to use him as a bargaining chip to blackmail India. What happened was that certain countries which are friends of India and which do not approve of this kind of terrorism, they told Pakistan to behave and they told Pakistan to immediately release Wing Commander Abhinandan. And at this point, I'll like to take just a minute to narrate a very interesting incident which happened 50 years ago in 1969. Where there was a meeting of OIC foreign ministers and India was invited as a member. And Mr. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed went there with the Indian delegation. When Pakistan came to know of it, Pakistan told the Moroccan hosts that if India attends, Pakistan will boycott the meeting. And so in the end, Pakistan was able to blackmail Morocco and India was unable to attend the meeting. Compare that situation with today. Today, Pakistan again tried to blackmail the OIC foreign ministers. Their Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi They told the UAE that if you allow India to attend as guest of honor, Pakistan will not attend. Well, I think the UAE told them, okay, in that case you can stay at home. And he stayed at home. So the blackmail failed. This actually symbolizes the increased economic, political and military strength of India, and it also symbolizes the revulsion against terrorism, which is felt by countries all over the world, including Pakistan's friends like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. So I think there is a sea change in the situation, and Pakistan, was so peeved at this whole treatment that I think it deliberately dragged the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan, whom we were expecting to be released by 12 o'clock today, noon. But, this whole thing was dragged out till now. But in any case, I'm delighted that in the end, Wing Commander Abhinandan is home.
Absolutely.
Safe and sound. And I am delighted at this clear victory for India against terrorism. This is a very clear victory against terrorism for India. In all senses, diplomatic, military, political, in every sense, it is a victory for India.
And adding to what you just mentioned, the OIC is celebrating the Golden Jubilee this year. India was invited as a guest of honor despite strong demand by Pakistan to cancel the invitation to Sushma Swaraj. This, in fact, is a clear example of the big diplomatic win for India, that despite of everything that Pakistan has done, India has been able to make it to the world community, to convince the world community that terrorism should be condemned in all its manifestations.
You're right, Smriti. This is exactly what has happened. And what is particularly gratifying is that, Pakistan's close friends like Saudi Arabia and the UAE have clearly expressed their displeasure to Pakistan over this whole incident of Pulwama, for example. Because remember, our foreign minister was invited to as a guest of honor to the OIC conference after Pulwama took place. So, it was not before, it was after. Now, this invitation itself symbolized, in diplomatic terms, it is clearly seen as a condemnation of the Pulwama terror attack. Then, second, then, as I said earlier, Pakistan tried to blackmail. Well, the blackmail failed. And how far we have come, how far India has come in the last 50 years, you can see by comparing, that meeting in Rabat in Morocco, 1969, where unfortunately Mr. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed was told by the Moroccan host that we are sorry, but we can't let you attend. And Yahya Khan succeeded in blackmailing. And to compare it with today, that Pakistan, Pakistan had to stay home. Our foreign minister went there, and not only went there, she said in very clear terms that terrorism should be stopped, that financing of terrorism should be stopped. And, she was sitting in the middle of this 56-nation body, which includes all the Islamic states. And she conveyed a message from India. So this shows, and it also shows how close the UAE and Saudi Arabia have come to India. So, it has many, many messages which will be analyzed in the coming days, I'm sure. In diplomatic terms, in military terms, of course, also, many details may come out in the coming days as to how India was able to organize those pinpoint strikes, and all the aircraft came back safely home without any loss of any aircraft or life. And then, of course, this where, this was an attack, intended attack by Pakistan on a military facility where...
I believe we have lost connection with Mr. Srivastav due to some technical issue. There, Mr. Neeraj Srivastav was telling us about how India has been successful in putting up its case on the international platform in convincing the world community to condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. Talking to Akhilesh now. Akhilesh, a major development which took place today is that Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has admitted that Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar is in Pakistan. How big and how significant is this news considering the present scenario? How significant is this development from Pakistan?
You know, Smriti, this is not a news at all, because everyone knew that Masood Azhar is there in Pakistan, and Pakistan never denied that he was not there. Only thing that when the interviewer asked him that where is Masood Azhar, he told that yes, he is there, and he also added that Masood Azhar is sick and he is so ill that he cannot move around. What my sources tell that Masood Azhar is in Rawalpindi Army Hospital and he is ailing there. So it might be a fact that he is very sick. But given the fact that accepting this at this point of time, and what he added is more interesting. What he added is that if India gives us actionable evidence and that can be sustained in the court, we may act against him. So it is very clear now that you give him evidence. You had given him evidence earlier also. Every time you have given them evidence, after Mumbai terror attack, after Pathankot attack, after every attack, India had given evidence of proximity, the handiwork
Absolutely,
of Masood
Akhilesh,
Azhar.
absolutely. And it always keeps on asking India for solid and inalienable evidence, which can stand the court of law.
Actionable evidence, they tell it, that actionable evidence that can be sustained in the court. They all the time they tell that that court has to decide. So, but it is a very simple police procedure in India and everywhere in the world, that once you get a complaint, you file an FIR, and after the file an FIR, you also have obligation to gather evidences around the leads that you have got. So India has given him leads also. So on that basis of those leads, Pakistan should have done its own investigation. India has given them the address, India had given them the phone numbers, India had given them the photographs, the videos, everything that was possible from Indian territory, India has given.
India has even handed over, just 2-3 days back, a dossier to Pakistan with the specific details of the Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Yeah, right. So dossier include all these, evidences, charges, activities, everything that is possible from giving from across the border. On the basis of those leads and those evidences, Pakistan should have done some own homework. And on the basis of those homework, they should go to the court that yes, this is the complaint, this is the evidence, and court should, give punishment to this person. So in a way that it is your court, it is your machinery. So in a way that you are negating that what has been given to you is not actionable. So the onus is on Pakistan now to work on those leads, work on those evidences, and produce in the court in a way that a dreaded terrorist of the world should be punished. So what Shah Mahmood Qureshi told the interviewer was a blatant, dismissal of the activities of Masood Azhar. So in a way that it is negating that any person who is involved in such activities existing in Pakistan, he is just telling that he is present in Pakistan. That's all.
What further actions do we see taken by the world community to ensure that the terrorist safe havens provided, which are being provided by Pakistan to the terrorists, are finished off, are completely banned from Pakistan?
There are so many ways that you can pressurize a country who is giving safe haven to terrorist organization. And if terrorist organization in Pakistan becomes like Rehri and Patri that is prevalent on roads, you have so many shops opened by terrorists that they come to this shop, we will damage this country, come to this shop, we will damage that country. This type of shops have been opened in Pakistan. So, that under such situation, world has to decide. And world has to decide in a way that it has, had imposed sanction over many countries. it has imposed embargoes over many countries, it had stopped funding over many countries. So there are so many financial, political, diplomatic, boycott, every type of mechanism is present in the world that you can pressurize a country like Pakistan. So it is a question of will, that how much will the world is having to dismantle the whole ideology, mechanism, infrastructure of terrorism. And everyone knows that this whole thing is present in Pakistan, right from ideology, training camp, infrastructure, funding, everything is there in Pakistan. So world community can come, they can put a sanction over Pakistan, they can put embargo, they can stop trading with Pakistan, they can stop sending the tourists in Pakistan, they can break ties like once upon a time, you know, that when
isolate Pakistan
in
completely.
many ways,
Yeah.
Stop exporting ties, every ties that Pakistan is having with the rest of the world, you have to stop it at some point of time. Otherwise, you know,
Absolutely.
that menace and, the seeds of terrorism will always be there. So you have to destroy the whole seed, the mindset, the whole mechanism, the whole establishment of Pakistan that gives, patronage to the terrorists. And once upon a time when South Africa was facing the, racism, many countries have, broken ties, stopped relationships. So in that will has to come
but Akhilesh, at that point, point, I would like to ask you one more question. The important development of the day, 5 security personnel, including a CRPF officer, have been martyred today in Kupwara district. What intentions are we given to understand at this point of time?
That is the inertia that exists in Pakistan, that one wing of the establishment talks in one way and another wing acts in another way, and third wing that is considered to be non-state actor, they act in third way. So this is, Pakistan, suffer with this type of 3 contradictions all the time. So when one wing of Pakistani establishment, you can say that civilian government tries to create peace, try to start trade ties with India, another wing starts feeling at unease because the whole army establishment of Pakistan lives on the basis of anti-India, campaign, anti-India mindset, and they have created a, demon-like terrorist organization that becomes a proxy of or extension of Pakistani army. So, in that situation, it is very difficult to be, commanded by a civilian government. So, as a civilian government head, Imran Khan wants peace. When he became Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted him. He also announced that he wants peace with India, he wants cooperation with India. There was talk that both foreign ministers will meet in New York on the sidelines of, United Nations, General Assembly. But in between something happened and that talk has to be cancelled. And then when talks on Kartarpur corridor was going on in March, it has to be finalized, the protocol has to be finalized, and then this Pulwama attack. So Pakistan lives under this type of, contradiction. And you see that at one point of time, when Prime Minister Imran Khan announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan, Pakistan army is shelling on the border, cross-border firing is going on. So this is the contradiction Pakistan lives in. And you know that there is contradiction inside the Pakistani, people also. You cannot say that all people are against India. There is a section of people who you can say that they give, support to extremism. That I have seen many people in Pakistan who wants good relations with India, who see towards India, who praise India, that how India has developed and how Pakistan has suffered because of involving in terrorism. And if you see the whole National Assembly debate yesterday and today, you could hear many of the politicians of Pakistan who is showing that how India wants to become a superpower, how India is growing economically, and we should reply to India in that way. So there is a willingness inside some political class of Pakistan also, people also, but it is the Pakistani, army terrorist nexus that creates a hindrance, and you are witnessing the same situation here at the border, that when Pakistan is releasing Wing Commander Abhinandan, shelling is going on the border. That's the thing.
Right. Akhilesh, stay on with us. We'll come back to you for more details. Now, talking to Neeraj Srivastava, former ambassador. Sir, we were talking to Akhilesh about the double standards of Pakistan, about like on one hand it is trying to have what Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan stated, a goodwill gesture to India with returning of IAF officer Abhinandan. On the other hand, today 5 security personnel, including a CRPF officer, have been martyred in an encounter with the terrorists in Kupwara.
Well, Smriti, this just shows how angry Pakistan is with India at this point of time. And because it has been, I would say, humiliated in front of the whole international community, because its efforts to blackmail India and to blackmail even the OIC have failed. Pakistan has always been speaking lies throughout its history, starting with the first war, which in October 1947, the incursion into Jammu and Kashmir by those tribals. It was organized and it was ordered by Mr. Jinnah himself. But they said that, look, these are tribals, we have nothing to do with it. So Pakistan's record of lies goes back right till its creation. And since then, it has used lies in its dealings with India. So we should not be surprised. I would just like to take this opportunity to mention one particular point, which is very important, the significance of the Balakot strike. The significance of, and this significance is that India has demonstrated that nuclear blackmail can be unsuccessful. So far, Pakistan has been blackmailing India by saying that we have nuclear weapons and you cannot take any military action against us. But India first, 2 years ago, in 2016, India carried out the surgical strike. That was the first instance where India demonstrated that nuclear weapons or nuclear blackmail will not work. And this strike, the Balakot strike, has demonstrated conclusively that having nuclear weapons does not mean that you can blackmail another country and that military action cannot be taken against you. And this point has been noted by not only Pakistan but the whole world. So I think this is a very important point in international politics. And India has played a very important role in it.
I'm sure India must have also sent a message to other countries having ties with Pakistan as far as the defense and trade of the defense equipments is concerned.
Yes. Yes. And in this context, I would like to mention that it would be very interesting to see now how China behaves with respect to, Masood Azhar. As we all know that China has been blocking in the UN Security Council, blocking the designation of Masood Azhar as global terrorist.
Right.
And now 3 countries have moved a proposal, France, Britain and the United States, to designate Masood Azhar as a global terrorist. It would be very interesting to see what China does now, because so far it has been protecting Masood Azhar and China has been sending a message that it supports terrorism. And if again it supports Masood Azhar, then I think, like Pakistan, I think China should also be isolated. A diplomatic effort should be carried out. And, China should be made to answer this particular question. Which side is it on? Is it against the terrorist or is it for the terrorists?
Thank you so much, Mr. Srivastava, for joining us and giving us an in-depth analysis of that very important development. the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan, his homecoming to India. Akhilesh, coming back to you, since 2003, when the ceasefire agreement was signed between India and Pakistan, there have been unprovoked firing at the Indian post by Pakistan. Time and again, though this issue was raised, has been raised time and again on the international platform, internationally, globally, the issue of terrorism has also been condemned. What exactly Pakistan at this point of time, what are the intentions behind everything, how the things are shaping out, how the situation is taking place? What are we given to understand from the entire events which are taking place?
You know that in Pakistan, army wants to always show a brave face. Many times Pakistani army had engaged with India, and every time they have faced defeat. And after every defeat, they try to show brave face. And in the bid of showing brave face, they keep engaged in either proxy war by terrorists or by shelling on the border, by hurting the innocent people of India, either in Jammu and Kashmir or sometimes in other parts. So in a way that the whole incident, the ceasefire agreement, and then breaking the ceasefire, it is all, all whimsical. And when there is a pressure on Pakistan, when there is a crisis inside Pakistan, they try to resolve this crisis by showing a brave face on the border, on this side of border. So because India always gives them, some sort of fodder to justify themselves that, yes, we have shown that India, yes, we have, killed so many people, we have fired, so we are not weak, we are brave, we are hardened army of the world, we can combat India, we can confront India. So these are the things that Pakistani army tries to show, supreme commander, supreme boss of Pakistan, and in that bid they also undermine the civilian government of Pakistan that had been elected by the voting process. So this is the type of contradiction that Pakistan always lives in, and this has given an impetus to those terrorists also who tries to take advantage of the contradiction between civilian government and army establishment. And army establishment tries to get a strength from this contradiction, and they want to show to the country of Pakistan, countrymen of Pakistan, that yes, this is the Pakistani army that can save you, that can take Pakistan in a gloriful position. And that is why, that after Pulwama attack, when India told Pakistan to punish those perpetrators, Pakistan did not do it. And when India, destroyed the terrorist camp for the first time in history, India went on a terrorist camp inside Pakistan, destroyed it, Jaise Mohammed, hideout, training camp, where they were creating, suicide bomber, jihadi elements for sending inside India. Then Pakistani army was, taken aback, and they were rather frustrated, they were nervous, everything. And, in Pakistani people were saying towards themselves that how brave you are, that Indian, planes came, destroyed the camp that was under your patronage. So that's why, just to justify that, yes, they can also do that, they came inside Indian territory the next day, they tried to attack Indian, army, installations, but they were chased back inside Pakistani territory. So I think Pakistani army always try to justify that, yes, it is alive, it is energetic, and it can save the glory of Pakistan. And in that, they also take Pakistan one step backward. So this is how Pakistani army is contributing to Pakistani people negatively.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for joining us and giving us this in-depth analysis of that very important development. Remember, a moment of happiness for India. Wing Commander Abhinandan has been handed over to the country at Wagha-Attari border. Thousands of people have been waiting through the day to catch a glimpse of the hero. And in fact, Rajya Sabha television has been getting you the complete coverage of all the details and minutes on that development through the day. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.